Today I'm going to be installing this no Toil Super-FLO kit in my 2021 Yamaha YZ250FX. Now this kit removes the stock filter setup, it removes the stock backfire screen, claims less resistance on the intake with the flame retardant filter, and increased throttle response and performance. Now I'm not installing this for performance reasons, and quite frankly I don't put a lot of faith in claims like that for these kinds of products. I'm installing this for a completely different reason that's not even mentioned on here, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. I removed the air filter to clean it after my last ride, so there's currently not an air filter in here. But I want to talk about the reason that I'm putting this kit on the bike. So the stock filter depends on these little tabs to hold down the filter well enough to create a seal around the perimeter of the filter here. When you install a filter, there are a couple of tabs on the bottom that go down into slots on the bottom, of course. And then these close to hold it down. So this is okay right now. I think while this bike is new, I've only got 3 hours on the bike, and I haven't seen any evidence that this is not working like it should. But these little tabs aren't very strong, and they're held in with rivets into plastic. So I think over time these could get loose and potentially not hold that filter down well enough. You can see right now there's just not a lot of strength in those things. But this setup just doesn't give me a lot of confidence. The no Toil Super-FLO kit replaces it with a screw in the middle to really clamp down that filter and seal the perimeter. Now the kit itself didn't come with any instructions, but I think it's going to be pretty easy to figure out. It did come with this QR code to scan with your smartphone, but here's what happens when you scan that. 404, sorry, we couldn't find the page you're looking for. So instructions for this kit are a little lacking. So the kit comes with a pre-oiled filter, flame retardant red liner. Comes with the filter cage and the replacement air box piece, as well as the hold down screw. The design of this kit and the way it holds the filter down and seals it is really the reason that I'm installing this kit. Next thing I'm going to do is remove the shrouds. So you need to remove this piece to get access to these 3 screws on the bottom of the filter cage here. And there's 2 screws, one here and one here. There's also a tab in the middle holding this in, but you can get this out without removing the tank if you just kind of wiggle it out. Now I reinstalled this filter temporarily to clean everything up and just to make sure there's no loose dirt anywhere to drop down into the intake while I'm working on it. Now I just need to remove these 7 screws holding that cover on. Like I mentioned before, I couldn't find instructions, but it does appear that these little collars that are in this stock cage need to be transferred over to the new one. So I think it goes without saying at this point you want to be very careful about dropping anything down into the intake. Now that there's no screen there to prevent it from falling right down into the throttle body. So now I'm going to reinstall this divider, making sure that little tab goes now into the slot. Now I'm going to install the cage in the filter. I think I might need to re-oil that. I don't think there's quite enough on it. It's not really even, but I'll do that later. For now, I'm going to reinstall this and test fit it on the bike before I put everything back together. Alright, so that's definitely a lot tighter seal than the original setup. Pretty happy with that. I think everything's going to fit. I just want to test the cover. Alright, so a couple things to note about this kit. Right now, as of March 2021, these things are in really short supply and they're difficult to get unless you buy them from eBay. You may have to pay a little more than the retail price, which is 49 bucks. I'll put a link to the eBay listing that I got this one from, but when supply gets back to normal on these things, I'll change that to an Amazon link, and hopefully the price will be better at that point. Another thing to note about this is that once you install this, you're going to need a new wash plug kit. Because the wash plug that fits the factory setup is not going to fit this setup. No Toil does make a wash plug kit, and I've ordered that from eBay as well. I'll link both of those down in the description, and I'll also include just the part numbers in case you need to just find the specific part numbers. Now, I'm going to be racing this bike for the first time this weekend, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in that so you don't miss it. And if you enjoyed this video, it'd really help me out if you'd hit that like button. Thanks for watching.